Hi, good evening everyone. I hope I'm audible and my screen is visible. So once I get a go ahead, I think we can start with the session directly. So I'll just wait for a confirmation and then we can get going with the session. Yes, so I think we are good to go. Everything is fine. I have set it up on my phone as well. So we can start with the session. Alright, so today we are going to more or less continue or use more or less the same concepts that we did yesterday. So we are going to have another session today on number theory. Um, and again, as I mentioned yesterday, the concepts more or less remain the same. We are going to talk about mostly logarithms today, but also in terms of product of three numbers, nature of numbers, let's say for example, and LCM, HCF. So those kind of things we are going to look at today as, and we'll be continuing more or less from where we left yesterday. Right, so I hope all of you have taken the test, all of you have more or less looked at the questions that are there. If you haven't, again what I will do is when we are solving the questions, I'll just wait on a slide for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute or so, and then you can solve it on your own and then we can discuss that. So that is basically going to be the agenda for the day. I think quite a few of you have joined already, so we can get going with the session. We can start the session. So the first question and we'll get going with the session. So this was the first question that we had in today's test. So have a look at it. I'll give you maybe 30 seconds to solve this and then we can start with the solution. So have a look at this and by 8:06ish we will start solving this. So I'll give you a minute to look at this question and then we can start solving this question. Alright, so I hope it's visible to all of you. So if you look at this, it is what is the value of this expression that has been given to you. Log of root 5 to the base 0.008 plus log of 81 to the base root 3 minus 7. So yesterday we discussed for a bit what exactly does it mean to have log of a to the base b, right? So that's what we discussed. Same concept we can apply here. But then again, if you know the basic rules of logarithms and if you are aware of how things work in terms of logs, you should be able to manage this particular question. Yeah. Hi Mohammed. Hi. Good evening. I hope all of you are doing fine. So let's start with this particular question, right? And let's see what we can do here. So the first thing we have to do यहाँ पे is we have to simplify this particular expression. अब ये 0.008 है यहाँ पे, root 3 है, 81 है, root 5 है, and so on. Right? So first thing that we have to understand is what exactly is this formation. So for those of you who are joining us today and who hadn't seen the session or the previous sessions, I'll just explain what is log of a to the base b. Log of a to the base b is a question, right? What is the question? B raised to what gives me a? That is the question. सो व्हेन आई से log ऑफ a टू द बेस b, एक बहुत ही सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन होता है, b को क्या पावर पे अगर मैं रेस करूंगा तो आई विल गेट a एज द आंसर. सो एक बहुत ही सिंपलिस्टिक तरीके से इफ आई पुट इट, लेट्स से आई पुट log ऑफ 64 टू द बेस 2. नाउ इसका वैल्यू क्या आएगा? माय क्वेश्चन बेसिकली बिकम्स 2 रेज टू व्हाट इज 64. सो इफ यू नो दैट 2 square is 4, cube is 8, raised to 4 is 16, raised to 5 is 32, raised to 6 is 64. तो एक क्वेश्चन मार्क का वैल्यू मेरे को मिल जाता है 6 मिल जाता है, एंड दैट्स व्हाई द वैल्यू ऑफ दिस इज 6. ठीक है. नाउ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, मैंटिसा एंड ऑल वो सब चीजें आर डिफरेंट, दे आर नॉट रियली इन द स्कोप ऑफ द डिस्कशन टुडे और इन फैक्ट इवन एट द कैट एक्सेप्ट फॉर मे बी 1 or 2 क्वेश्चन टाइप्स. अदरवाइज कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, मैंटिसा वो सब चीजें सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है. सो द क्वेश्चन इज 2 रेज टू व्हाट गिव्स मी 64. ठीक है. इसका एक छोटा सा आई गिव यू एन ऑफ एक कॉन्सेप्ट विच इज स्लाइटली ऑफ बीट कंपेयर टू व्हाट वी आर डूइंग हियर. लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल आई आस्क यू व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी द वैल्यू ऑफ 73 टू द बेस 3, लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल. ठीक है. तो क्या आएगा? नाउ अगेन माय क्वेश्चन बिकम्स 3 रेज टू व्हाट इज 73. दिस इज बेसिकली द लैंग्वेज दैट वी आर टॉकिंग. 3 रेज टू व्हाट गिव्स मी 73. Now I know that 3 raised to 1 is 3, 3 square is 9, 3 cube is 27, 3 raised to 4 is 81. तो मेरा आंसर जो होगा ना, इट विल बी 3 पॉइंट समथिंग. ठीक है. दैट इज व्हाट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. ये दो चीजें अगर समझ में आ गई, लाइफ बिकम्स मच इजियर. एंड इफ यू नो दैट 3 रेज टू व्हाट इज 73, द आंसर इज 3 पॉइंट समथिंग. दिस इज बेसिकली कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, एंड पॉइंट के बाद जो आता है वो है मैंटिसा. ठीक है. नाउ लॉग्स वी विल डिस्कस इन डेप्थ मे बी एट सम पॉइंट इन टाइम व्हेन वी डू अ लाइव सेशन और समथिंग, बट अदरवाइज दिस इज व्हाट वी नीड टू नो. सो इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस अगर हम इसको सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं, देन माई क्वेश्चन बेसिकली बिकम्स log ऑफ √5. ठीक है. एंड द बेस इज 0.0008. नाउ व्हाट इज 0.0008? अगर मैं इसको सिंप्लीफाई करता हूं, नाउ दिस इज नथिंग बट 8 डिवाइडेड बाय 1000 बिकॉज देर आर 3 डिजिट्स आफ्टर द डेसिमल. सो 8 डिवाइडेड बाय 1000, राइट. सो 8 बाय 1000 मिल गया. आई कैन रिड्यूस दिस फर्दर, आई कैन रिमूव अ 2 फ्रॉम हियर, तो ये 4 बनेगा, ये डिनोमिनेटर में 500 आएगा. अगेन इफ आई कैंसल आउट अ 4 डायरेक्टली, क्योंकि लास्ट 2 डिजिट्स आर जीरोस, 8 से भी डिवाइड हो जाता है. सो 4 1s are 4, 4 2s are 8 एंड 4 5s are 20, राइट. सो 0.008 is nothing but 1 divided by 125. Now 1 divided by 125 is nothing but 1 divided by 5 cube, or this is nothing but 5 raised to minus 3 because 5 raised to minus 3, अगर मैं इसको 1 by 5 raised to 3 लिख देता हूँ, तो that is basically 5 raised to minus 3, right? So that is the logic here. So in this case I can say that this is nothing but 5 raised to minus 3, ये मेरे को मिल गया, प्लस log of 81 to the base √3. ठीक है. तो √3 को √3 ही लिख देते हैं, and this is -7. Now one thing, if you are extremely observant and you can understand this part and this part that we did, my question to you will be 5 raised to -3 जो होता है ना, 5 raised to -3, if this is raised to some x, then that should give me √5 or 5 raised to half. That is the meaning of this expression ना. log of √5 to the base 5 raised to -3 का मतलब क्या हो गया? What should I raise 5 raised to -3 to so as to get √5 as my answer? So in this case -3x becomes 1 by 2, x becomes -1 by 6. So the value of this expression is simply -1 by 6. As simple as that. अगर यहां पे मैं देखता हूं, अगेन लुक एट द सेम एग्जांपल, √3 raised to what gives me 81. So 3 raised to half raised to again x, let's say for example, gives me 3 raised to 4, that is 81. तो क्या होगा यहाँ पे? x by 2 will be equal to 4 और x will be equal to 8. तो यहाँ पे x equal to 8 मिल जाता है, तो ये पूरे एक्सप्रेशन का वैल्यू becomes 8. So plus 8 minus 7. So what will this be? 8 minus 7 is 1. 1 minus 1 by 6 will give you the answer as 5 by 6. So the correct answer here is option C. So you need not get into log of 8 minus log of 1000 and then you will get 2 cube minus 10 cube, 3 log 2 minus 3 log 10, then you will get log 2 minus 1, ऐसे कुछ तो random चीज़ आती रहेंगी and you will get stuck in that. So try to convert everything into 5, try to convert everything into 3 and that will make your life easier. तो log के अंदर just understand this bit. So अगर ये समझ में आ गया ये वाला part, whatever I have done here, then I think you should be sorted with many of the log questions. So this is basically the theory वाला part. ठीक है. If you are able to understand this theory वाला part, you should be fine. राइट. सो log of a to the base b is nothing but a question. एक क्वेश्चन है. क्या क्वेश्चन है? b को क्या पावर से रेज करेंगे? I will get a. b raised to what will give me a? That is the question. Right? So log of 64 to the base 2, what was it? 2 raised to what is 64? 2 raised to 6 is 64. So the value of this expression becomes 6. Similarly, if let's say for example I don't get a perfect power, which might be true in some cases, यहाँ पे नहीं होगा because I am expecting a nice answer here, right? So I can't have 3.7256 ऐसे कुछ मेरे पास नंबर नहीं होना चाहिए, right? So in this case I know that it is 3 point something. This is again, as I said, एक थोड़ा सा tangential concept है, that's it. In this case 0.008 को पहले हमने रिड्यूस किया एंड वी ब्रॉट इट इन दिस फॉर्म 125 के फॉर्म में लेके आ गए, विच वाज 5 raised to -3 यहाँ पे. एंड देन वी ट्राई टू जस्ट फिगर आउट व्हाट वाज द वैल्यू ऑफ दिस एक्सप्रेशन, व्हाट वाज द वैल्यू ऑफ दिस एक्सप्रेशन. तो इसका वैल्यू तो अपने को -1/6 मिल गया, इसका वैल्यू 8 मिल गया, इसका वैल्यू तो 7 ही था. तो एवरीथिंग डन, यू विल गेट 5/6 एज योर फाइनल आंसर. ऑलराइट, आई होप दिस इज क्लियर एंड दिस इज अगेन एन इंट्यूटिव वे ऑफ सॉल्विंग इट. You don't really need to write a lot of things, right? So I have made a video which will be released soon, I think tomorrow maybe, wherein I discuss some things that you need to do to go from a 60th percentile to a 99th percentile, and this is one of those things that I speak about, right? Ki how do you do a lot of steps in your head. So when I saw this question for the first time, I thought of 5 raised to -3 directly. -3 raised to what will give me 1/2. तो पहले तो वो माइनस में को निकालना पड़ेगा, तो आई विल गेट अ माइनस, और 1/2 चाहिए, तो डिनोमिनेटर में आई नीड टू हैव 6, सो -1/6 डायरेक्टली मिल गया. 3 raised to 4 is 81, तो √3 raised to 8 होना चाहिए ना डायरेक्टली, एंड दैट्स हाउ वी गॉट 8. सो वैसे करके डायरेक्टली यू कैन रीच दिस स्टेप इंस्टेड ऑफ डूइंग ऑल दीज थिंग्स. बट अगेन आई एम अज्यूमिंग दैट सम ऑफ यू माइट नॉट रियली बी गुड एट लॉगरिथम्स, दैट्स व्हाई आई डिड दीज स्टेप्स एंड शोड इट टू यू. बट एग्जाम के टाइम पे ऑल दीज थिंग्स दैट आई हैव रिटन ऑन द राइट साइड आर नॉट रियली रिक्वायर्ड. ठीक है, नाउ लेट्स लुक एट द सेकंड क्वेश्चन. Again, try this out on your own and then we will have a look at the solution. So I'll wait on this for 1.5 minutes. 8:16 ko we can start solving this one. So have a look at the question and see what you can make of it. And if someone has any doubt in the previous question, let me know. You can just go back and check the slide if you want to, and you can let me know in case there is something that you are not understood. But fundamental concept of log वही है. Log of a to the base b is nothing but a question which is b raised to what is a. That's it. ठीक है, तो इतना log वगैरह लिखने की जरूरत नहीं था. They could have simply asked you this question, b raised to question mark equal to a. ये भी रिप्रेजेंटेशन हो सकता था, but then instead of this people started writing this as log of a to the base b. It's exactly the same thing. Yeah. So the beauty of number theory is mostly you will be able to manage questions very easily if you know what you are looking for, and you have to just start with whatever data has been given to you. इसके आगे तो कोई data है नहीं, right? So you have to just start with the data and just keep on doing things till the time you hit the answer. That's it. So otherwise number theory के अंदर कोई science नहीं है honestly. And every year you get what 2 or 3 maximum questions from number theory. तो उतना manage generally हो जाता है. Yeah. All right, so let's start looking at the solution. Just give me a second. Yeah. So let's have a look at the solution now. So in this case 9 raised to 2x minus 1, 81 raised to x minus 1 and 1944 have been given to us. ठीक है. So again the thing that you have to understand here is instead of writing 9 के form everything, try to convert it into the most basic form that you can think of. अब मेरे को पता है कि 9 is 3 square, 81 is 3 raised to 4. If I have that much of an idea, it's better for him to convert everything into 3 का power, right? Because that will make my life easier, especially in these questions. So although I don't really advise you to calculate everything at each step in general, ये वाले context में converting it into the most basic form will make your life much easier. जैसे पहले क्वेश्चन में भी 0.008 को अगर पहले ही मैं 8/1000 कर लूँ, then it eliminates my entire need to write 2 as 10/5 rather, right? तो वो मेरा एक need निकल जाता है. So in this case, let's try to write this as 3 raised to everything. सो 3 रेज टू 2 इंटू 2x माइनस 1 हो जाएगा, बिकॉज 3 स्क्वायर होता है 9, एंड दिस विल बी 3 रेज टू 4 द होल इंटू x माइनस 1, एंड दिस विल बी 1944. इसको ऐसे रख देते हैं बिकॉज यहाँ पे तो इट इज नॉट रियली डिस्टर्बिंग अस एज सच, राइट. ऑलराइट, सो लेट्स लुक एट दिस. सो अब यहाँ पे बनेगा 3 रेज टू 4x माइनस 2 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया, माइनस 3 रेज टू 4x माइनस 4, दिस विल बी इक्वल टू 1944. राइट, नाउ व्हाट एल्स कैन वी डू इन दिस कॉन्टेक्स्ट. नाउ इसके अंदर आई कैन मे बी रिमूव 3 रेज टू 4x माइनस 2, या फिर 3 रेज टू 4x ही निकाल देंगे, दैट विल बी मच इजियर फॉर अस आई बिलीव. सो 3 रेज टू 4x को कॉमन लेते हैं, तो यहाँ पे बचेगा क्या, 3 रेज टू माइनस 2. If you would have looked at the previous question, 3 raised to minus 2 is 1 by 3 square. 3 raised to 4x minus 4, so 1 by 3 raised to 4 हो जाएगा, equals 1944. Right? अब यहाँ पे if you want you can convert it back. अगर पहले नहीं convert करते तो भी चलता, करेंगे तो भी it's fine, it's okay, not a problem at all. So my denominator will be 3 raised to 4. So I'll just write it as 3 raised to 4 itself. This term will be 3 square, क्योंकि I will have to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3 square. दोनों को multiply करना पड़ेगा अगर मेरे को इसको 3 raised to 4 बनाना है तो. So this is 3 square, that is 9, minus 1 बन जाएगा 8 अपना numerator, and this is 1944 as it is. Now what will happen? I can cancel out. I should be able to cancel out an 8 from here and here. Let's try to cancel out a 4, क्योंकि 44 तो है, तो मुझे तो पता है कि 4 तो cancel हो जाएगा. Let's try this. 4 4s are 16, 34, 4 8s are 32, 24, 4 6s are 24. अगर मैं 2 कैंसिल कर दूं, आई एम गोइंग टू गेट 243, एंड दोस ऑफ यू आर ऑब्जर्वेंट यू विल नो व्हाट 243 इज. 243 is nothing but 3 raised to 5. So 3 3s are 9, 3s are 27, 3s are 81, 3s are 243. ठीक है, तो अब यहाँ पे क्या बनेगा, 3 raised to 4x will be 3 raised to 4 into 3 raised to 5 or 3 raised to 9. So I'll get 4x equals 9, x equals 9 by 4. So the correct answer here is option B, that is 9 by 4. Alright, this was a simple one. I hope it makes sense to all of you. You could have kept it as 9 as well, by the way. So when I solved it on my own, I kept it as 9. But then you have to be really good at 3 raised to 4, 3 raised to 5, convert करो, वापस लेके आओ. So those things if you are good at, then it will make your life easier. But अगर वो last में वो झंझट में नहीं पढ़ना है, convert everything into 3 का power at the beginning itself and keep everything in the form of 3 का power, because 3 raised to 4x is a common thing here and this is the only term with x. So that should tell you that 3 raised to कुछ मेरे को right hand side में मिलना चाहिए. Fine. So I hope all of you have understood this, and if everything is clear, then maybe we can move on to the next one. So I'll again flash the question, have a look at it, try to solve it on your own, and then we will start discussing this in another minute and a half. Okay? So take 1.5 minutes. 8:22 को we'll start discussing this. Also, I hope all of you have seen the 150 days to CAT preparatory plan. I had mentioned it in my video yesterday as well. So that is a video that we had put up 3 days back, I think. So have a look at it. It's a video that has been received very well. And I've spoken a lot about the mental aspect of test taking starting now. In terms of concepts, in terms of question selection, syllabus, वो सारे अलग-अलग videos हैं. But in case of purely being in the right frame of mind, I think you can have a look at that video. ठीक है, चलो let's look at this question now. Alright, yeah, let's look at this question. The product of 3 consecutive positive integers is 15,600. तो consecutive होने चाहिए. then the square sum of the squares of these integers is what? Now one way of doing this is you can say let one integer be n minus 1, let one integer be n, and let one integer be n plus 1, और ये तीनों का प्रोडक्ट मिलके बनेगा 15,600. Now we know that one of these has to be a multiple of 5 or has to be a multiple of 10. दोनों में से एक चीज होनी चाहिए, right? Now one thing you can simply observe is अगर ये एक multiple of 10 है, one of these is a multiple of 10, then I also need to have another number that exists here, which basically means जो number 10 का multiple है वो 25 का भी multiple होना चाहिए. So that is basically what it means in this case. Now again, if you are not able to understand this, it's perfectly okay. There is a very easy way of doing this as well. So don't worry about something that you are not able to understand for the next 45 seconds, 1 minute, ठीक है? बट यहाँ पे अगर मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि ये एक नंबर कोई भी ये नंबर लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल और ये नंबर लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल इज अ मल्टीपल ऑफ 10. अगर ये 10 का मल्टीपल है तो मेरा 1 0 तो एडजस्ट हो जाएगा. बट व्हाट अबाउट द अदर 0? इफ दिस नंबर एंड्स इन 10, दिस नंबर हैज टू एंड इन अ 1, दिस नंबर हैज टू एंड इन अ 2 ना. तो इन दिस केस जो भी यहाँ पे 100 कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट हो रहा है दैट इज गोइंग टू बी कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटेड प्योरली बिकॉज ऑफ दिस गाय, राइट? तो इसको 50 का भी मल्टीपल होना पड़ेगा. 10 का मल्टीपल तो है ही, एक और 10 लेके आना पड़ेगा, राइट? तो 50 का मल्टीपल होगा तो 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो यू विल गेट 100. सो दिस वन ऑफ दीज नंबर्स बिकम 50. अब अगर मैं तीनों नंबर 50 के आसपास के ले लूं, 5 5s are 25, 5s are 125 और 000 इतना बड़ा नंबर आ जाएगा. दिस नंबर इज मच लेसर than this number. That basically tells you कि ये 10 का मल्टीपल तो नहीं होना चाहिए, 5 का मल्टीपल होना चाहिए. Now if this is a 5 का मल्टीपल, again what does it tell you? To make this 100, I need 2 2s and 2 5s. I need 2 2s and 2 5s to make this 100. Now if I need 2 5s to make this 100, इसमें से जो नंबर हम देख रहे हैं एक तो 25 होना चाहिए for sure, right? And that is basically how we can arrive at one number being 25. अब एक नंबर अगर 25 है, the other number has to be either 24, 26 और 23, 24. उस टाइप का कुछ यहाँ पे चेन होगा, और 26, 27 अगर आप और आगे जाते हो, right? So again that will come to you intuitively. अगर इतना मेहनत नहीं करना है, if this is not something that you are very comfortable with, what you can think about is 3 consecutive numbers हैं. Now these 3 numbers का multiplication can you say is going to be very close to n cube, ठीक है? n into n minus 1 into n plus 1 अगर हम करेंगे तो n cube के बहुत पास होगा ना. थिंक अबाउट एनी नंबर, लेट्स से मैं 2 into 3 into 4 बोलता हूँ, ये 24 है, दिस इज वेरी क्लोज टू 27. इफ आई लुक एट 3 into 4 into 5, आई एम गोइंग टू गेट 5 4s are 20, 3s are 60, वेरी क्लोज टू 4 cube. If I look at 4 into 5 into 6, 6 5s are 30, 4s are 120, very close to 125. Right? So I get numbers that are very close to the cube of the middle number. ठीक है? तो this will be very close to n cube. Now tell me something. 20 cube कितना होता है? 8000 होता है. 30 cube कितना होता है? 27,000 होता है. Now if I need a cube that is very close to 15,600, it should be between 20 cube and 30 cube ना? Right? 20 cube और 30 cube के बीच में होना चाहिए. 20 क्यूब नहीं हो सकता, 30 क्यूब नहीं हो सकता. आई ऑल्सो नीड दिस नंबर टू एंड इन अ 0 0, तो 25 का मल्टीपल तो होना चाहिए. सो आई कैन से विद सर्टेनिटी दैट इट इज गोइंग टू बी 25 इंटू समथिंग एल्स, एंड दिस विल गिव मी 15600. तो 25 पक्का इज वन ऑफ द 3 नंबर्स, दैट मच आई कैन टेल. अब ये 25 को कैंसिल कर देते हैं, लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपेंस. 25 6s are 150, 60 बचा, 25 2s are 50, 100 बचा, 25 4s are 100. अब मेरे को मिल गया 624 यहाँ पे, राइट? 25 into 624 है. Now if I want to split 624 into 2 parts that are very close to each other, these parts will be very close to the square root of this number. अब the square root of this number is of course 25. तो एक क्लू तो वहां पे आ गया कि 25 into something मतलब बहुत ही क्लोज होंगे ना 25 की. तो ऑब्वियसली या तो मेरे पास ये होना चाहिए पेयर ट्रिपलेट 23 24 25, और इट शुड बी 24 25 26, और इट शुड बी 25 26 27. तीनों में से कुछ तो एक बनना चाहिए. बट आई नो दैट द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ दीज 2 नंबर्स इज 624. अब अगर 624 है, इट हैज टू बी डिविजिबल बाय 4 ना. सो डेफिनेटली दिस कांट बी माय ट्रिपलेट, बिकॉज यहाँ पे 4 कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट ही नहीं हो रहा. देयर इज ओनली वन नंबर विच इज अ मल्टीपल ऑफ 2, तो 4 का मल्टीपल तो मेरे को मिल नहीं रहा. I know for sure that the second number is 24 now, because 24 and 25 are there in both the cases. So what I will do is, to find the third number, I'll just divide 624 by 24. Now I know that it's divisible by 4, so 4 6s are 24, 4 1s are 4, 5s are 20, 6s are 24, 6 2s are 12, 6 6 are 36. Now we get all three numbers. So what are the three numbers? 24, 25 and 26. Now of course I spent some time doing this, but intuitively you can get this. So 624 जैसे ही आता है, you should know that it is 625 minus 1, 25 square minus 1, 24 plus 1, 24 minus 1, or 25 plus 1, 25 minus 1, right? तो 24, 25, 26 are the three numbers. अभी इनका स्क्वायर हमको सिर्फ ऐड करना है, that is a manual process that we can do directly. ठीक है? So what is the square of 24? And by now you should ideally remember the square of 24. It is 576. Square of 25 is 625 and square of 26 is 676. तो ये तीनों numbers को हमको ऐड करना है and we'll be able to get the answer. So we are going to get 6 plus 5 plus 6, that is 17. So 7 or 1 carry forward. 1 plus 7, 8 plus 2, 10 plus 7, 17 again. 5 plus 1, 6 plus 6, 12 plus 6, 18. So our answer is 1877, that is option D. Okay? So how you arrive at 24, 25, 26 is very important. Now of course if you are a seasoned candidate, numbers के साथ बहुत ज़्यादा friendliness establish कर लिया है, you are very familiar with the goings on around you, then you will easily be able to figure out कि 25 है करके. Using this 8,000 और 27,000 के बीच में होना चाहिए, right? And 25 का multiple होना ही चाहिए. तो 25 तो पक्का है. Now as soon as you look at 25, 24 should immediately strike you because you are supposed to get something that ends in two zeros or is a multiple of 4. ठीक है? तो 24 into 25 directly you will get, and उसके बाद 26 you can easily figure out if you know that this is nothing but 12 into 30. तो ये भी अगर पता होगा तो भी easily निकल जाएगा. ठीक है? So with a good grasp on numbers you can manage this question easily. Should not be a problem at all. ठीक है? So I hope the question is clear. 15600 वाला question is clear. I have gone to the next slide for the benefit of those of you who are done with this. You can just try out the next question once and then we can start discussing it. Again I'll give you 1.5 minutes of head start to solve this question. Look at this question, thoda gather your thoughts, and then we will start solving this particular question in a minute, right? So have a look at this one. And again remember the property of logs that I mentioned and the example that I had mentioned. I had mentioned this example at the start for those of you who are joining us late. Log of 73 to the base 3 is nothing but a question. 3 raised to what is 73? Now although I will not be able to find it out exactly, I should know that my answer is between 3 and 4 because 3 cube is 27 and 3 raised to 4 is 81, right? So the answer should be 3 point something. Hi Nibi Saji, welcome to the session. So I'll just explain to those of you who are new here what exactly is it that we do. So every day we will float a test. So the test goes live at 10 p.m. So tomorrow's test will go live today at around 10 p.m. You can take the test at any point in time till CAT. So ऐसा नहीं है कि you have to take it till tomorrow. It's not like that. You can take it at any point in time whenever you get time till CAT. So that is fine. Then what happens in this context is every evening I'll come and solve these 10 questions for you. So all these questions that we are doing right now are the ones that you would have seen earlier if you have taken the test. Okay? So for those of you who are who have not seen the questions, I'll wait for some time. But otherwise, I will the questions will be something that you would have already seen, right? So that is basically how this thing works. And then basically we discuss these questions. If you have any doubts, you can let me know in the chat, and we try to resolve the doubts then and there. And if there are no doubts, then everybody goes home happy and with a bit more knowledge, right? So that is basically how it works. Siddharth, not a problem, it's okay. Sumant, I think there is a slight mistake. Somewhere I think you have made a mistake is what I think. Let me just try this and then we will see. Alright, so let's start with the solution here for this question. log of 5 to the base 3 is what we have, right? And think about this, 3 point something is what I have mentioned here in terms of logs. So log of 5 to the base 3. Alright, so log of 5 to the base 3 is what we have here. What does this mean? What will be the answer to this? The answer to this will be, let's say for example, the answer to this is k. Now k will be definitely greater than 1 because 3 raised to 1 is 3 itself. So k definitely has to be greater than 1, but 3 square is 9, so k has to be less than 2. And this is basically something that will crack the question. 1 less than k less than 2. So this is the left hand side, log 5 to the base 3. The value of this should be between 1 and 2. So I can also say that log 2 plus x to the base 5. Log of 2 plus x to the base 5 will also be between 1 and 2. That much I can say for sure. Yes. Now what is this? Again the same question arises. What is this expression? This expression is again a question. 5 raised to what is 2 plus x? That is the question, right? 5 raised to what is 2 plus x? Now I know the two boundaries that exist here, right? This number should be less than 5 square but greater than 5 raised to 1. Now if you are finding it slightly difficult to understand this, again go back, think about it, think about this concept, go to the first question, think about that concept that I had mentioned there, and you will be able to make sense of this. Okay? And if you are not able to make sense of this, just try to put in some value here and see now what happens. If I put 100 here, right, it will be 102. 5 raised to what is 102? It's between 2 and 3, but the value has to be between 1 and 2, na? So we will know that 5 raised to question mark is equal to 2 plus x, and this question mark, the value of this expression has to be between 1 and 2. So I know from this context that 2 plus x, right, should be less than 5 square, and this should be greater than 5 raised to 1. Yeah, Sumant, I think that is right. Right, 5 raised to 1 is less than 2 plus x is less than 5 square. So 5 less than 2 plus x less than 25. Now if I remove 2 from all 3 points here, 5 minus 2 will give me 3, less than x less than 23, and that is our answer here. So you just have to understand what exactly is the value of this. If you start doing log 5 by log 3, log 2 plus x upon log 5, log 5 ka square divided by log 3 and so on, then you will end up in big trouble, right? So that is not something that is going to help you. Another thing that you can think about, in this particular context is you can plug in some values and check what happens, right? As I mentioned, let's say for example I put x equal to 1 here, then what will happen? Log of 3 to the base 5, log of 5 to the base 3 is equal to log of 3 to the base 5 ho jayega if I put x equal to 1. But this is not true, na? How can 5 to the base 3 be equal to 3 to the base 5? Right? So that will not work. That's why this is definitely not our answer. Similarly, x greater than 30 is what has been given to us. If x is greater than 30, then what will happen in this context? Let's say I take x equal to 100, then as I mentioned, or 1000 or 1 million, then this number will be exceptionally huge, na? Right? So x greater than 30 means that sky is the limit. So again this is not going to be right because this number can be very big, तो वो भी नहीं होगा. What about this one? X is between 23 and 30. Let's say x is greater than 25, 28, 29 कुछ पकड़ लो, let's say, or 25 पकड़ लो, doesn't matter. This number will definitely be greater than 2 क्योंकि 5 square के ऊपर चला जाएगा ना if it is greater than 23. But this number is not greater than 2. So again this will not work. So this is our answer. Right? So range bound questions you can take values and do it as well, but I expect you to have a basic level of comfort with logarithms. If you know what we have done here and how exactly have we jumped from this step to this step, I think more or less you are comfortable with logarithms. Okay? So that is what we are looking at. Akshat, if we change to base 5, it will be slightly difficult, na? मतलब log 5 by log 3 आएगा, then you will have 1 by log 3 to the base 5 and so on and so forth. But then again you will not be able to do anything about it. It will be log of 2 plus x to the base 5 multiplied by log 3 to the base 5. वैसे कुछ आएगा. So again it might be slightly confusing. Yeah. So log 5 by log 3, if you do, let's say for example we do it like this, and log 5 goes to the denominator, so log 3 to the base 5 हो जाएगा ये. And this is nothing but log of 2 plus x to the base 5. So now if log 3 to the base 5 goes to the right hand side, you will have two logs ka multiplication. It's not addition. That will be a problem. That's why I don't think this will be a good way of doing it. Siddharth, yes, I take VARC sessions as well. In fact, I think we recently did an RC session. In fact, tomorrow I think is one of the VARC sessions. Alright, so I hope this was clear. If something is not clear, let me know in the chat and we'll try to address it. For the benefit of those of you who are already done, I have moved on to the next question, so have a look at that one. So today is mostly going to be indices, logarithms. That is basically the agenda for today. Yesterday we did some questions on which required you to have some knowledge of LCM, a bit, very small bit of functions and so on. But today we have almost everything on logarithms. So again, have a look at this question and take 45 seconds, 1 minute to solve this. You can pause the video and you can solve it, and then if you realize that something is off, something you are not understood, let me know. Even if it is a previous question, I will be able to help you out. So should not be a problem. Okay? So solve this question once, try it out on your own, and we will see what it looks like. So again, those of you who hadn't joined us for the previous questions, whenever you get something like 9, 2, 4, 3, try to convert it into the most basic form. Try to convert everything into 3s and 2s. That will generally make your life slightly easier. If you keep it in the form of 9s and if you try to adjust everything at the end, there might be an issue towards the end. Okay. Siddharth, I'm not sure. Full screen, I think it is visible. My phone has a smaller screen than usual, but it is still visible. I'll just see if I can increase the font. Just give me a second, I'll try that. But shouldn't be an issue as such. Alright, I hope this is better. Okay, let's look at this. Sumant, I think your answer is right. Okay, so let's look at this one. 9 raised to x minus 1 by 2 minus 2 raised to 2x minus 2 is equal to 4 raised to x minus 3 raised to 2x minus 3. Okay, so we can just write this as 9 raised to x divided by 9 raised to half. This is what we can do. Minus 2 raised to 2x divided by 2 square, because minus 2 will basically be nothing but 1 by 2 square. Yeah, NVM, correct, your answer is right. This will be equal to 4 raised to x. So I'll just write it for the time being as it is. Minus 3 raised to 2x divided by 3 cube. Alright, so let's see what we can do in this context. Now 9 raised to x, I can reduce it to 3 raised to 2x. Denominator 9 raised to half hai. 9 raised to half is what? Square root of 9. Na? Square root of 9 is nothing but 3. Minus 2 raised to 2x is already in the basic form. Divided by 2 square. I'll keep 2 square as it is for the time being. This will be nothing but 4 raised to x, that is 2 raised to 2x minus 3 raised to 2x upon 3 raised to 3. Again, I'll keep it in the existing format. Right? Now we can see 3 raised to 2x, 3 raised to 2x, 2 raised to 2x, 2 raised to 2x. So this is something that we can do. So let's combine all the terms together and let's see what happens. So here if I combine all the 2 raised to 2x terms on one side, 2 raised to 2x plus 2 raised to 2x upon 2 square will be equal to 3 raised to 2x by 3 minus 3 raised to 2x by 3 cube or 27. What will be the value of this side? This will be nothing but 2 square will go to the top. You will get 5 by 4 into 2 raised to 2x. 1 plus 1/4 is 5 by 4. And this will be nothing but 3 and 27 is what we have here. Na? So my numerator here will become 9 by 27 minus 1 by 27, that is 8 by 27. So 8 by 27 will be equal to 3 raised to 2x. Fine. So this is what we are going to get in this context. Multiplied by, sorry. This is also multiplied by. Alright. So now what will we get in this particular context? Let's again merge all the terms and see what happens. I hope I'm doing everything correctly. Yeah. Alright. Okay, let's see. Now what do we get in this context? We are going to get 2 raised to 2x upon 3 raised to 2x will be equal to 8 into 4 divided by 5 into 27. Alright. Let me just check once if I have done something funny here. I don't know if this looks nice to me. Right, 2 raised to 2x by 2 square was fine. This was 2 raised to 2x, that is good. This goes to the right hand side, it will become 1 plus 5 by 4. So even that is good to go. Alright, so all these things look fine to me. 10 by 27, right? Yeah, something is off. 27 minus 3, yeah, I think this is the problem. So 9 is 27, you will get, yeah, I understood it, 10 by 27, I figured it out, but somewhere I think something is off. I'll just check the question once, maybe the question is slightly off. 2 raised to 2x minus 2 is fine, 4 raised to x was fine, 3 raised to 2x minus 3 was also alright. Okay? So I'll just look at it once again. 9 raised to x divided by 9 raised to half, that is, Siddharth, I can see your chat. There is no need for you to keep on spamming. I understand what you are writing, alright? So minus 2 raised to 2x by 2 square, that's what we have. This one was 2 raised to 2x is fine. 3 raised to 2x by 3 cubed was also fine in this particular context. 3 raised to 2x by this was 9 because root of 9 is 3, and 2 raised to 2x by 4, 2 raised to 2x was fine, and 3 raised to 2x by 27. That's what we had here, right? Then we got 2 raised to 2x plus 2 raised to 2x by 2 square. So this will become 4 plus 1, 5 by 4. So this part was okay. And in this context, 3 raised to 2x will again come out as a common term. 1 by 3 minus 1 by 27, you are going to get 24 by 81 or 8 by 27. Yeah. So till this point in time, I think I'm fine. I'll just check the question once if I made some error in terms of the terms, right? So just give me a second. I'll just check once if the question has been typed correctly. Figure it out. It should be plus. Alright, so in this case 3 raised to 2x by 3 plus 3 raised to 2x by 3 cube. So this should be the case. So this will not be 8 by 27, it will be 9 plus 1, 10 by 27, right? So that's what we will have. We'll get 5 2s are 10 here. So this part is going to go. I'll just erase this part and we are fine now. Alright, so the terms when they go on the other side, it will become positive, right? So in this case, we are going to have 3 raised to 2x divided by 2 raised to 2x. 3 raised to 2x upon 2 raised to 2x will be 27 by 4. Alright, so or 27 by 8 rather. 4 2s are 8 is what we are going to get. Okay, but in this case 27 by 8 is nothing but 3 cube by 2 cube. So we are going to get 2x equals 3 or x equals 3 by 2. Right, so the answer here is option A, that is 3 by 2. Nahi Siddharth, this was fine. X minus 1 by 2 was fine. It's not exactly x minus 1 the entire thing by 2. It is x separately minus 1 by 2. So when we were just taking these terms, when this 3 raised to 2 by x by 3 cube comes to the left hand side, let's say, then it will become plus, and this one will go to the right hand side and will become plus. So this one should have been plus, which I had not written properly, and that's why we were getting conflicting answers. Yeah, so the answer here is going to be x equals 3 by 2 in this case. Okay, I hope this is clear. Yeah. Okay. So for the benefit of those of you who are done with this one, we'll go to the next one. How many 4-digit numbers which are divisible by 6 that can be formed using the digits 0, 2, 3, 4, 6, and no digit should be used more than once, and 0 does not occur in the leftmost position. That is the point of this. Option substitution in the previous one. Okay, let me just check once. You can substitute options into it, yes. So in the previous question you could have done it using options as well. In fact, I think during the test I did it using options. So 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2 will basically be 1. So 9 minus, okay, I'll just go back and I'll show you. So here we can just substitute options and see. So because you have minus 1 by 2 multiplied by 2, ideally you should have some option that is divided by 2. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे एक ही ऑप्शन है जो डिवाइडेड बाय 2 है, तो माय फर्स्ट इंस्टिंक्ट विल बी टू चेक फॉर दिस वन. So 9 raised to 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2 will be 9 raised to 1 minus 2 raised to 2 into 3 by 2, which will be 3 minus 2 is 1. So 9 raised to 1 minus 2 raised to 1, मेरा left hand side will become 7. Right hand side 4 raised to 3 by 2. So 4 raised to half is nothing but 2. 2 cube is 8 minus 3 raised to 2x minus 3. What is 3 raised to 2 into 3 by 2? 3 minus 3 is 0. 3 raised to 0 is 1. So in this particular case 8 minus 1 will give us the right hand side also as 7. So option substitution will also work, just that you should know that 3 by 2 is my first, again the first thing that I am interested in is 3 by 2. That is what I should know. If I am not sure with about that and I start with 3 by 4, 4 by 9, 2 by 5, then option substitution will be painful. Yeah, there are a lot of options that are divided by 2, then it will become slightly painful. But in this context, because the options were such that there was only one option which was divided by 2, all your terms are minus half multiplied by 2, perfect square, I know that 1 by 2 tak I am happy, right? And that's why this option should have been the first one that you should have chosen, and then you could have solved the question easily. Alright, so yeah, Siddharth, good spot. Option substitution will work. Alright, let's have a look at this one now. How many 4-digit numbers which are divisible by 6? So 4-digit numbers should be divisible by 6, formed using the digits 0, 2, 3, 4, 6. तो 5 digits है हमारे पास 0, 2, 3, 4, 6. उसमें से I need to make 4-digit numbers such that no digit is used more than once and 0 does not occur in the leftmost position. Obviously 0 leftmost position में अगर आ जाता है तो it is no longer a 4-digit number, right? So that will not work. So what we have to ensure is the number should be divisible by 6 and of course it should be a 4-digit number, right? So what does it mean for a number to be divisible by 6? The number has to be divisible by 2 and it should be divisible by 3. No, Siddharth, I don't think that is the answer. 3 ke liye you will need to have sum of digits. If the sum of digits is divisible by 3, then the original number should be divisible by 3. And for a number to be divisible by 2, it should be an even number, meaning the units place digit should be 0, 2, 4 or 6 from the given digits that we have, right? So that is basically what will work in this particular context. Now sum of digits should be divisible by 3 and I want to make a 4-digit number, which basically means that I need to eliminate one of these digits as well. So let's see what the sum of these digits is. So 0 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 is nothing but 15. So this is already a multiple of 3. So if I have to remove something, I will have to remove a multiple of 3. So I can either remove a 0 or I can remove a 3 or I can remove a 6. Okay? So I have 3 cases. One wherein I remove a 0, second when I remove a 3 and third when I remove a 6. Now let's think about this. If I remove a 0, what all digits are left 2, 3, 4 and 6 are left. Now if 2, 3, 4, 6 are left, it doesn't really matter ना, leftmost digit का issue नहीं आएगा because 0 है ही नहीं. So whatever rearrangements I have of these 4 digits, I am always going to get a 4-digit number. So my condition that I need to satisfy is that my units digit should be even. So out of these 4 digits that we have, my units digit is either 2 or 4 or 6, which basically means I can choose my units place digit in 3 ways. Now as soon as I have chosen my units place digit in 3 ways, there is no restriction on any other digit. तो इसका क्या मतलब बना? This digit can be chosen in 3 ways because now I have 3 digits to fill this position. Now I have 2 digits to fill this position. Now I have 1 digit to fill this position. So in total I will get 3 2s are 6, 3s are 18 ways. So if I remove a 0 and try to make numbers using 2, 3, 4, 6, I should be able to get 18 such cases for that particular expression. Okay, Siddharth, I don't know if you did only this, but you can also remove a 3 and have a 4-digit number, right? So now I am left with 0, 2, 4 and 6. Now 0 plus 2 plus 4 plus 6 is 12, which means that this number has to be divisible by 3. उतना तो मेरे को समझ में आ गया. Also if I look at it, all these numbers are even now. So unit place में whatever digit comes, I am not worried about it. But what am I worried about? I am worried about getting this 0 in this thousands place. Then it will be a problem. तो यहाँ पे मैं 0 नहीं लिख सकता. So this digit can be chosen in 3 ways. ये वाला digit, it can either be 2, 4 or 6. But once I have done this, there is no restriction on this digit. Now I can choose any of the remaining 3 digits. I can choose any of the remaining 2 digits. I can choose any of the remaining 1 digits. So 3, 3s are 9, 2s are 18 again will be the number of cases if we remove a 3. Let's say if we remove a 6. Now this becomes slightly complicated. If I remove a 6, then what happens? I am left with 0, 2, 3 and 4. These are the 4 digits that are left. Right? Now if these are the 4 digits that are left, I need to ensure 2 things now. 1, my units place digit has to be an even number, and 2, my thousands place digit cannot be 0. That is basically the issue. So now let's say for example, we adjust the units place digit first. Now my units place digit can either be 0 or it can be 2 or 4. Let's say my units place digit is 0 in this case. If the units place digit is 0, it doesn't matter now what these 3 digits are. So this digit can be chosen in 3 ways, this one can be chosen in 2 ways, this one can be chosen in 1 ways. I'll get 6 cases here. And if my units place digit is either 4 or 2, okay? If my units place digit is either 4 or 2, then I also have to ensure that 0 does not come here. Right? Now you can take either 2 or 4 and you can have 2 cases, but let's say for the sake of simplicity you take only 2 and then you multiply that by a 2, right? Because 4 के लिए भी exactly same cases होंगे. So let's say for example this one is 2, तो क्या हो गया? यहाँ पे 0 नहीं आ सकता. This digit can't be 0. It has to be either 3 or 4. So this can be chosen in 2 ways. This can also be chosen in 2 ways now, because now I have 2 digits left and there is no restriction here. And this one, the last remaining digit will have to go here. So this will basically be 4 cases. Similarly, if I have 4 as the units place digit, again I cannot have a 0 here, meaning that this digit can be chosen in 2 ways. This has no restriction, so 2 places and 2 digits, which can be done in 2 into 1 ways. So again I'll get a 4 here. So 18 plus 18 36 plus 6 42 plus 4 46 plus 4 50 should be my answer to this question. Right? So the answer to this one should be 50 in this case. Is this clear? Any doubt in this question? I know there is a bit of permutation and combination involved in this, but generally at the CAT you will find these kind of questions. जहाँ पे number theory भी है, divisibility, and in terms of permutations and combinations, basic arrangements is what you have. Yes, I hope this makes sense. I'll show the next question to all of you. So have a look at this, and in case there is something that you have not understood in the previous one, let me know. So have a look at this one, then we can start solving this question. Yeah, Siddharth? There are a lot of numbers, that is my only thing. Otherwise, this is the simplest way in which you can solve this. So I'm glad you are able to get it. But whatever the case that you did, I think you could have done it for the other cases as well. You should have also got the answer. So there is no reason why you should not have got it. So aa jata. So have a look at this one, and I think we can start solving this in another 30 seconds or so. Suman, I think your answer is right. Just let me check once. Yeah, I think it is right. Alright, let's start with this one. So 2 raised to x is equal to 3 raised to log 2 to the base 5. Right, now with these kind of questions, again, if you substitute some value from here and try to do it, that will be very painful. Siddharth, your answer is right. So यहाँ पे क्या करना है? Because your answer is expected in the form of logs, right? X के अंदर log का कुछ तो component है. So x is not a number. If x would have been a number, your life would have been much easier. You could have simply substituted it and got your answer. So in this case, let's try to see if we are able to reduce this to a log. Okay? Now what we can do in this case, because it is in this form, I can write this as x times log 2 is equal to log 2 to the base log 5 times log 3. Right? So I'll just put this in a bracket. So this is what it is going to look like. Now again, we can change the base and see what happens. X times log 2 is going to be log 2 by log 5 multiplied by log 3. Now log 2 being a positive term, you can cancel it out from both sides, or because it is a non-zero term, you can cancel it out from both sides. You will get x equals log 3 to the base 5, or log 3 upon log 5 is what you can get. Now from the given options, we just have to see which one of them matches this. Option 1 says log 8 to the base 5. अब यहाँ पे 8 है ही नहीं, log 3 by log 5 है. So this is definitely not my answer. My second option says 1 plus log 5 by 3 to the base 3. Now this is log 3 to the base 5, not log 5 to the base 3. So again this will not work. Log 9 to the base 5, nahin, log 3 to the base 5 hai. Again this will not work. In this case log 3 to the base 5 hai, but there is a lot of other random nonsense here. So let's try to see what this looks like. So 1 plus log 3 to the base 5 divided by, or rather, sorry, I'm so sorry. Yeah, log 3 to the base 5 minus log 5 to the base 5. Because whenever you have this kind of a thing, you will basically be having it in this form. So agar log a minus log b hai, that is nothing but log of a divided by b. That is what you are going to get. So log of 3 to the base 5 minus log of 5 to the base 5. Now if you just simplify this term, log of 5 to the base 5, again the question, 5 raised to what gives me 5? 1 hi hai na? So my simplification is going to give me 1 plus log 3 to the base 5 minus 1. These two will get cancelled out, and I'm going to get log 3 to the base 5 or log 3 by base 5, which is equal to the expression that I had got by simplifying this particular thing. So option D is the right answer here, and 1 plus log 3 by 5 to the base 5, that is basically the answer to this question. Okay, simple question, again manageable question. You can handle this even if you have a very basic understanding of logs. Okay, I'll show the next question for those of you who have solved it, and if there is any doubt in the previous one, let me know if there is anything that needs more elaboration. Yeah, so try this out. We will have a look at this in another 30 seconds maybe. It's a very easy question. This is something that you would have done at some point in time in some form, be it as a part of your institute, be it as a part of solving any book, कोई online forum पे देखा होगा, school में क्या होगा. So all this question is something that you would have done in spirit. There is one small concept that exists in this one, so that we will see, but otherwise it's a very straightforward question. Yes, Siddharth, correct. Real numbers. That is the key word. Perfect. Alright, let's look at this one. Now we are multiplying three real numbers, or Ashok is multiplying three real numbers. Ashok took one of the numbers as 73 instead of 37. So because the third number was, again, you overestimated the third number, the product went up by 720. So instead of 37, let's say the three numbers are A and B, or three numbers are 37, A and B. These are the original numbers. Alright, let's see. 37, A and B are the original numbers. Siddharth, there is a short that I had made in terms of what to read or what are the sources from where RC passages are picked. So that is basically one thing that you can have a look at. Uske andar I have covered the 5 most important passages or websites / journals that exist jahan se CAT passages are generally asked. So that is one thing you can refer to. Baki to matlab of course you have to solve questions. I'll just discuss it a bit later as well. Let's see. 37 A and B, let's say, are the original numbers, right? The new numbers are 73 A and B. Now the product went up by 720, which means that 73 AB minus 37 AB will be equal to 720. It went up, matlab increased. So in this particular case, 36 AB will be equal to 720. So you will get AB equals 20. Now we want to find the minimum possible value of the sum of squares, right? Minimum possible value matlab kya? I need to make sure that A square plus B square is minimized. We had done something very similar in yesterday's class. So if you haven't watched yesterday's video, एक बार check कर लेना. We had done something exactly similar to this. Which of the following is a possible value of AB? वो question था. So A square plus B square को minimize करने वाला concept I have covered it towards the end of that question. So in this particular case, if I want to minimize A square plus B square, think about it logically. Now let's say for example, I write this as 20 into 1, let's say. तो क्या हो जाएगा A square plus B square? A square plus B square will be 400 plus 1, that is 401. This will be A square plus B square. Let's say I write this as 5 into 4. तो क्या हो जाएगा A square plus B square? 25 plus 16 बन जाएगा 41. A lot of people might go for this as the answer because it was a theta question. But real numbers is the question here. As Siddharth rightly mentioned, real numbers दिया हुआ है, integers नहीं बोला हुआ है, right? So this is fine. Again, let's look at an intermediate thing. 10 into 2 देख लेते हैं. क्या होता है 10 into 2 होता तो 10 square plus 2 square मेरे को मिलता 104. So you can see that as we go from the extremes to the middle, the value of the sum of the squares will keep on reducing, ना? So हमको क्या करना चाहिए? We have to bring those two numbers as close as is possible. What are two numbers that are as close as possible और जिनका product is 20? Root 20 and root 20. Real numbers भी हैं, integers नहीं बोला गया है. So this is basically the product, or these are basically the two parts which will ensure the minimum possible value of the sum of the squares. So my answer will basically be root 20 का square plus root 20 का square, which is going to be nothing but 40. So the correct answer here is going to be 40 for this particular question. Okay? Yeah, I'll show you the next question as well. This is the second last question. So this is the 9th question in this session. So have a look at it, try it out, and then we will look at it at the end as well. Yeah, Siddharth again. So coming back to your VARC improvement resources, na. So VARC becomes honestly very subjective, and because let's say for example I want to create a difficult question, I will put nonsensical options. I'll just change the words in the options that are there, and मैं बोलूँगा कि नहीं ये तो बहुत harsh word है, and this word should have been a bit more moderate. The tone of the passage is very light, and this is a very intense word. So then a lot of subjectivity comes into the picture. So VARC के अंदर if you look at it, I will not really recommend any books as such, to be very honest, because everything is become subjective at that point in time. What I would suggest is look at your past CAT papers, right? Look at mock tests, and most importantly discuss mock tests. Okay? Beyond that, if you're looking at, I would strongly suggest you to look at some GMAT resources. Let's say Manhattan Prep or Kaplan if you can find something, or official guide. So all those are good. And why are GMAT resources good? Because एक ही reason है उसके लिए. Those are curated. तो उनका लेवल ऑफ डिफिकल्टी होता है ना, वो पहले से ही डिसाइडेड होता है. इट्स नॉट एज इफ सिद्धार्थ ने सॉल्व किया तो वो डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन है, एंड शशांक ने सॉल्व किया तो वो इजी क्वेश्चन है. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट, राइट? बेसिकली इट इज गोइंग टू बी क्यूरेटेड फॉर एवरीवन. सो अगर वो बोल रहे हैं कि 700 लेवल का क्वेश्चन है तो वो 700 लेवल का ही क्वेश्चन है, और जो भी इन दी न्यू फॉर्मेट इट विल बी डिफरेंट, बट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द ओल्ड फॉर्मेट, जहाँ पे अगर इफ द क्वेश्चन इज ऑफ 700 प्लस लेवल, इट विल बी ऑफ अ 700 प्लस लेवल. देयर इज नो आर्ग्यूमेंट कि इफ यू टेक इट देन इट्स डिफिकल्ट, इफ आई टेक इट देन इट्स इजी. ऐसा नहीं है बिल्कुल भी, ठीक है? सो दैट्स व्हाई आई लाइक GMAT. प्लस GMAT के क्वेश्चंस के जनरली आंसर्स बहुत इलेबोरेट तरीके से अच्छे से दिए होते हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई वुड सजेस्ट समथिंग लाइक दिस. बट अदरवाइज पास्ट CAT पेपर्स एंड मॉक टेस्ट्स विल बी योर बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स, because theoretically there is not a lot that you can teach in VARC. End of the day, after maybe 5, 6, 8 sessions, you have to start solving questions. That is the only thing. तो ये काम आएंगे. And reading के लिए you look at those sources that I mentioned. You can just search for sources of RC passages on the channel. वहाँ पे मिल जाएगा. I think HBR है, Economist है, Smithsonian है from what I remember, Aeon है. All these are the sources from where your RC passages appear. So maybe you can have a look at those. Okay. Now in terms of this question, let's come back to this question and let's try to solve this. Log of 81 to the base 12 is P. We need to figure out what is 3 into 4 minus P upon 4 plus P. And again सारे options log के फॉर्म में हैं. Log to the base 4, to the base 6, to the base 2, to the base 6. ये सारे मेरे पास options हैं. So of course it means that I will need to put something here and then I will be able to get something. So let's try to plug in P directly वहाँ पे and let's see what happens here. ठीक है? So 3 into 4 minus P. So 4 minus log 81 to the base 12 divided by 4 plus log 81 to the base 12. Now this is what we know. Now one thing you can do to make your life slightly easier is you can observe that this 81 is nothing but 3 raised to 4. तो 4 यहाँ पे आ जाएगा. All 4s will get cancelled out. So that will give you one small clue. So let's try to do this. 4 minus 4 log 3 to the base 12 divided by 4 plus 4 log 3 to the base 12 again. Now this 4 will come out and both 4s from the numerator and the denominator will get cancelled out. So I will be left with 3 into 1 minus log 3 to the base 12 divided by 1 plus log 3 to the base 12. Okay? Now what can I do about this? Now I can just write this 3 to the base 12 as log 3 upon log 12. Both to the base 10. तो क्या होगा? यहाँ पे 3 आ जाएगा. You will have 1 minus log 3 by log 12 divided by 1 plus log 3 by log 12. Now if you adjust the terms and cancel out the two log 12s, you are going to get 3 into log 12 minus log 3 or log of 12 by 3. ये मिलेगा न्यूमरेटर में. And denominator में you are going to get log of 12 plus 3 और log of 12 multiplied by 3. ये मिलेगा डिनोमिनेटर. तो क्या बनेगा ये? 3 into log 4 divided by log 36. Am I right? Yeah, log 36. तो क्या होगा यहाँ पे? You will get 3 by 2 into log 4 by log 6 because 36 is 6 square, तो 2 बाहर आ जाएगा. because everything is in this form, यहाँ पे मेरे को log 6 दिख रहा है base है करके. So one of these is my answer. So now what I can do in this case is, I'll just see if this is visible. Yeah, visible. So in this case, it will basically be log of 4 raised to 3 by 2 divided by log 6. Or what will happen here? 4 raised to 3 by 2. 4 cube is 64. 64 by 2 or 64 ka root 64 raised to 1 by 2 is 8. So I'll get log 8 by log 6 or log of 8 to the base 6. Okay? So the correct answer is option D, log 8 to the base 6. Fine. So let's look at the last question now. Again, have a look at this and just remember the first thing that I mentioned at the beginning of the class. If I am saying that log of 81 to the base 3, this is basically a question, 3 raised to what is 81? If I know that the answer is 4, log of 3 to the 81, log of 81 to the base 3 rather becomes 4. That is the only concept we need to understand, we need to know for this particular question type. If you do that much, you should be fine. Okay? Yeah. So take 30 seconds and then we'll start solving this. Can take 30-40 seconds, 45 seconds, and we'll start at 9:15. And this is the last question of the day. And tomorrow we'll be having logical reasoning. So the test will go live, I think, around 10 o'clock tonight. So you can take it at any point in time tomorrow and be prepared for the session so that we can discuss it tomorrow. Alright, so let's look at this particular question. Let's see what this is and then we will try to solve this quickly. So log of 5 plus log of a to the base 3 to the base 2 is 3. So what can I say from this and from this concept? 2 raised to 3 is nothing but 5 plus log of a to the base 3. So I can say that 8 is nothing but 5 plus log of a to the base 3. That will tell me that log of a to the base 3 is 3, which basically tells me that 3 cube is equal to a, or a equals 27. So half of the question is done here, right? So easily you can figure out, yeah Siddha, this one is easy. So you can easily get a equal to 27 here. Now in the second expression you are also supposed to plug in the value of a. So here our second expression basically becomes, I'll just write it here, log to the base 5 4a. So 4 into 27, that is 108, plus 12 plus log of b to the base 3 is also equal to 3. So what does this tell me? 5 cube will be equal to 108 plus 12, that is 120, plus log of b to the base 3. So 125 will be equal to 120 plus log of b to the base 3. So I can say log of b to the base 3 is 5, which basically means b equals, I'm so sorry, what did I do here? Yeah, to the base 5, right? Log of 108 plus 12, 12 plus log b to the base 2 hai yahan pe, oh sorry, I'm so sorry, 2, right? Log of b to the base 2, log of b to the base 2, log of b to the base 2. So b is nothing but 2 raised to 5. So b is 32 here. Now the question is, what is the value of a plus b? It is 27 plus 32, that is 59. So the correct answer here is option A, 59. Yeah, this one was straightforward, a very easy question. If you knew again that 2 raised to 3 will be equal to whatever is there in the bracket and so on, you could have solved this orally as well. So it should not have been a problem, this particular question. You could have managed it very easily. So just know that this kind of a form exists. If you are able to do that, you should be fine. Alright, I hope there are no questions for the session. In case there is something that you figure out at a later point in time, do let me know in the comment section and I'll try to answer that particular question. Tomorrow, as I was just mentioning, is logical reasoning. So we'll have 2 sets tomorrow, I think. And again, take the test before you turn up for the session for best results. Because you would have seen the questions, you would have thought about it, and then if you come for the session, you will be mentally prepared. All right. So on that note, let's close the session. Thank you everyone for turning up, and I'll see you again tomorrow with the logical reasoning daily drill. All right.